What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona beat Deportivo Alaves by 3-1, now having back-to-back wins in La Liga. Since Xavi announced that he is resigning at the end of the season, we've won back-to-back games, conceded 1 goal, scored 4. I mean, so far so good. I think overall the performance from Barcelona was very professional. It reminds me a lot of the performance that we had against Osasuna in the semi-final of the Spanish Super Cup, where we didn't play, particularly great, but we controlled the game, controlled the tempo as well. Great build-up play for the goals. I think overall it's definitely a positive result, positive performance as well. We were a bit slow yet again. First 4 minutes of the first half. Ended off the first half as well. Last 5 minutes against the Kosh, trying to just defend the lead going into the break. First few minutes of the second half, we were a bit sloppy, but we controlled it. Of course, last 10 minutes we were just trying to defend our lead down to 10 men, wherever the case may be. Of course, in this game we did try Andreas Christensen in the pivot. I think overall the experiment was okay. I really liked Christensen, especially alongside Frankie de Jong. I think I want to see that a few more times before I come with a final conclusion. But I think overall today the signs were positive. I think we controlled the game when Christian came into the pivot as well. The front three were really looking good today. The transition play I think was brilliant. Link-up play looked good. I think overall was a positive day for Barcelona. The lineup was, of course, Inaki Peña in goal, a back four of Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and João Cancelo. A midfield four, you could say, of Christensen, De Jong, Gundogan, Pedri, front two of Lamine Yamal and Robert Lewandowski. We did see Pedri occupy a lot of that space on the left-hand side. Firstly, in terms of injury news, Cancelo did go off at halftime. We don't know if that was an injury, tactical, planned, whatever. Gundogan did go down with a bit of a hamstring problem. He was holding his back of his leg. He did walk and celebrate the result completely fine. We'll wait and see on those medical reports, see if we get any news in the media. Nothing so far. About now 20 minutes after full time, I've heard nothing on either Cancelo or Koundé. Hopefully there's nothing too serious. We do have a week off now until we play Granada on Sunday, so hopefully they can kind of recover from those knocks. Hopefully they're just knocks and nothing too serious. On the goals, firstly, the first goal was absolutely brilliant. I think from Pedri to Frankie de Jong, that beautiful pass that de Jong had to Gundogan, kind of outside the foot, kind of just placed it right in front of Gundogan, who put a good through ball into Lewandowski. Beautiful finish by Lewandowski, chip over the keeper, makes it 1-0. Second goal from Gundogan, I thought was a bit better. I think it was firstly Lamine Yamal down the right hand side, switches the play, finds Pedri on the left. Pedri then waits for Gundogan to make that run. Initially Gundogan ran near towards him to kind of lay it off him so he could shoot it, kind of like a Toni Kroos signature, but then Gundogan changed direction over the top. Pedri waited for him, ball over the top, on the volley, roofs in the back of the net. Beautiful goal. And of course the third goal was scored by, again, Vitor Roque, El Triguino, getting yet again on the score sheet. It was all from Lamine Yamal down that right hand side, who makes a beautiful run, switches the play on to, I think it was Frankie then rolled it to Hector Fort. Hector Fort had a lot of options. He had Lewandowski near post, he had Gundogan top of the box, he had, I think, Lamine Yamal back post, but then he finds the open space for Vitor Roque. Vitor Roque was not marked. One-time finish, bottom right hand corner. On the red card, of course, it was not a red card whatsoever, although people are saying that his first yellow should have been a red. But I don't think honestly either of his yellows were yellows, if I'm being completely honest. I think the first one, he's kind of running and his eyes are on the ball. He just moves his hand to run and the player just gets knocked on the elbow. I can understand why the referee is giving the yellow, but I personally don't think it was. A bit biased, you could say. The second yellow was definitely not yellow, and I do hope the club appeals it. I don't remember the last time Barcelona appealed a yellow card or a red card. They don't do it nowadays because they know it's just a waste of time. But that one is clear and obvious. I think Vitor Roque didn't even touch the player, and he got booked for a second yellow, because I really want to see Vitor Roque against Granada. I was hoping he was going to start the game. He's got 2 goals in 2 games now. Bit of a high, get some minutes in before we get into the crunch season where we face, of course, Napoli in the Champions League and get to that March schedule as well. But we'll wait and see what the club do decide in that sense. I think Xavi today had a really good day at the office. Of course, picked a strong lineup. He got the experiment with Christensen as the pivot. Made all 5 subs today. He brought on, of course, Hector Fort. We don't know if it's injury or what. Fermin Lopez, Romeu, Inigo, Vitor Roque, of course, as well, who did unfortunately get sent off. I think Xavi had a fairly good day at the office. The goal that we conceded, by the way, was very, very annoying straight after the second goal as well. It was just down the right-hand side. Both Hector Fort and Frankie de Jong couldn't deal with it. And somehow Samu is just wide open in the box, and Araujo was now marking him. And, of course, as target man striker do. When the cross comes into you, you head the ball back always in the direction it comes to you. Never go far post unless you're absolutely ridiculous and have crazy neck muscles. And of course, Ilkay Gundogan was done by that as well. In terms of player ratings, I think Ilkay Gundogan today probably give him 6, 7 out of 10. I think for distribution today, he was definitely on it. A lot of the players now feel like they're kind of a bit comfortable with him on the ball. The communication, by the way, in the back line today for me was shocking. I think that's probably the reason why the performance wasn't, great or, top tier. From Araujo to Cubarsí to Hector Fort to Koundé, even as well Cancelo to that mix, and Ilkay Gundogan. There's no communication between them whatsoever. I don't know if it's because it's Ilkay Gundogan in goal, but bloody hell, even Araujo and Ilkay Gundogan are running into each other and all this stuff. I think that's one of the reasons why we didn't have, an overall great game in this match. But I think Ilkay Gundogan pulled off a good save, of course, in the first half. Looked a bit ropey in the second half. We didn't have to really make a clear-cut save, but that first save in the first half, the point-blank header, very, very good one. I think Koundé had a pretty good game, especially defensively as well. I think going forward wasn't really the best, but I think in possession he was absolutely brilliant as well. We're slowly but surely now recovering the pre-injury Koundé, in my opinion. I think Araujo probably give him a solid 7 out of 10. Again, marking on Samu for the goal, bit annoying. I think he dealt with him a lot in this game fairly well. Of course, he had that hoof ball that ended up to Lamine Yamal that I think created the second goal, so we'll give him credit for that as well. I think Cubarsí today, listen, the IQ of Cubarsí is scary. I have not seen a center back with his IQ since PK. This man is pulling off every single miracle pass I've seen in my life. When we see a center back, when they're building up the play, he'll go to the left back, he'll go back to his right center back, might go to the pivot. But every time I'm watching, I'm like, if I'm Cubarsí, I'm switching it to Koundé. Boom, he does it. If I'm Cubarsí, there's one moment in that first half, he was really, really tight on the left-hand side. He had Cancelo to his left, he had Araujo to his right, he had Frankie in front of him, but there was a little bit of a space where if he just put the ball perfectly in between the two Alaves defenders, Christensen would have been there, wide open, counter-attack. And he found that pass. Madre mia. Brilliant, brilliant defender. I think he had a good game as well, probably 6, 7 out of 10. Same with Cancelo as well. I think Cancelo now, we're starting to see his weakness a little bit at left back. This man cannot cross his left foot. He just keeps doing Trivela, left, right, and center. And I think, again, what we have with Balde out for the season, no natural right back as well. He is supposed to be the right back. I understand it. I'm not really honing down on Xavi's decision too much, but again, we're not seeing that weak point with his left foot that he doesn't really like to ping crosses with his left. So probably give him a 6 for his game. I don't think he was that great as well. He got a lot on the defensive transition and counterattack. Christian in the midfield, I don't think he played too badly. Probably give him a 6.57 out of 10 as well. I thought there were a lot of moments in the game where he was having his head down and didn't have that, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of forward mentality, so to speak. I think Frankie de Jong had a brilliant game. Probably give him a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Was moving the ball forward greatly. I think, again, he's getting caught up a bit in behind Frankie de Jong. I feel like he had to do a lot of the running today with Christensen not being too familiar with his position. And of course, Gundogan and Pedri really, really advanced. Gundogan for me, man, the match definitely 8 or a 9 out of 10. I thought he was absolutely sublime. It sucks that he went off injured. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But I think his link-up play today with Lewandowski was ridiculous. Lewandowski got him behind quite a few times. Decision-making from Gundogan again was on point as per usual. And his goal contributions this season so far are scary for a new signing. I think he was absolutely brilliant. I think Pedri probably give maybe a 6, 7 out of 10. I think there are a lot of moments where you're thinking, oh, here's some Pedri magic. He's absolutely brilliant. But it wasn't consistent throughout the whole entire game. Of course, got the assist for the Gundogan goal, but I think there were a lot of moments in the game where he lost the ball, quite sillily. He tries to, do an extra move or two, and sometimes in the moments when you're being pressed by Alaves, especially when they're kind of, pressing them with 2 players, you want to keep it simple. I don't think he was, on point today, but there definitely was moments in the game where he was on point, in my opinion. Lewandowski, I'll give him a 7. I thought he was actually alright. It looked a little bit like pre-World Cup Lewandowski. There's been this clip of this compilation on Twitter going around a pre-World Cup Lewandowski, and I'm watching it thinking, bloody hell, if we had that, Lewandowski would be different. We saw glimpses of that today. Again, making good runs in behind. Even in the final moments of the game when he was on, there was a counter-attack, he was blistering for pace. I don't know, because he wasn't running throughout the whole entire second half. He was kind of ghosting in that second half, and then he got pulled down, and the referee called full time. The goal was brilliant. Great run in between the two defenders as well. Great chip as well, but that's what you expect from one of the best strikers of our generation. Sat on 250,000 euros per week, but I think overall he had a good game. Lamine Yamal again. This motherfucker is 16. When I was 16, I was drooling watching MSN. This man at 16 is pulling off roulettes and rainbow flicks and creating goals for Barcelona on this right wing. When Raphinha comes back from injury, I have no idea what Xavi's gonna do. Of course, they'll probably rest Lamine Yamal for a bit. It's now his 5th start in a row, and he's now played yet another 90 minutes. So I am a bit worried about his fitness. We'll wait and see what happens for him against Granada, but my God, what a game he's having. I don't even know what to say. I'm not saying he's leaving me speechless, but my God, this kid has the talent beyond belief. I mean, the link-up play was sublime. The movement in the final third was brilliant. I think him creating his space with his body feints is just magical to watch. And again, if you look at all the goals apart from the first one, he was involved in the link-up play. He was absolutely pivotal as well in the goal being created. I thought he had absolutely a brilliant game. Just shy of my man of the match from Gundogan, because Gundogan, I think, had a good game, plus had a goal and assist, so you gotta give him some sort of credit, but I think Lamine Yamal today was brilliant. The subs, I think, actually had a fairly decent game. Again, he got an assist for the Vitor Roque goal, but for the goal that we conceded, he was a bit lackluster. I think, especially when Alaves were, putting on the pressure, I think he dealt with it well that final 10 minutes. Build-up play for him wasn't the best, especially with down that left-hand channel while Pedri was occupying a lot of the space that he wanted to go into. Fermin Lopez, I think, came in, was alright, and same with Inigo and Romeu. Of course, Vitor Roque came in, was brilliant, came in, scored, but of course didn't last the full 90 minutes. I think overall, strong result from Barcelona. Again, we're now hopefully building some momentum, some confidence heading into, the Napoli game at the end of February, about 2 or 3 weeks shy of that game. We're getting some confidence, momentum. We're scoring goals now. I think we had 5 shots in this game, scored 3 goals, so clinical, you could definitely say. We're still leaking goals in the back, which is a bit annoying. I really thought a clean sheet in this game would have been a reality. Back-to-back clean sheets would have been brilliant. Again, we won a game by more than 2 goals, which is good, but just now want to get that more than 3 goal barrier broken as well. But overall, I think it's good day at the office, and hopefully we keep on pushing and use this momentum to going now to the Granada game and of course the Celta Vigo game. Of course, in the comments down below, leave me your thoughts down on everything we discussed. Of course, your player ratings, your manager ratings, your thoughts on the performance as well, your thoughts on Vitor Roque's red card, the substitutions that Xavi made as well, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca. Yeah.